Students were spread out all over the library, conversing without a care in the world. With a sigh, she closed the door.
This place has 4 libraries,
thought Haruhi Fujioka as she climbed the red-carpeted stairs.
You'd think one of them would be quiet.
As she continued through the marble hallways, she paused for a moment to watch a small flock of white doves fly by the window.
How are things in heaven, Mom? I can't believe it's been 10 years already. I'm beginning to think rich kids only come to school to have a good time.
Haruhi walked up to another door and looked at the sign above. It was an abandoned music room.
I guess this is the only place where I'll find peace and quiet,
she thought as she opened the door, knowing that it led to her last chance. No sooner than she did so, she saw a group of male students standing together.
Welcome!
This is the host club?
Haruhi exclaimed as she trembled at the door.
Oh wow, it's a boy!
Said 2 red-haired boys who looked identical.
Hikaru, Kaoru, this young man is in the same class as you, isn't he?
The boy next to the twins, with black hair and glasses, spoke this time.
Yeah, but he's shy,
the twins replied.
He doesn't act very sociably, so we don't know that much about him.
It was then that the boy with glasses realized something about this newcomer.
That's not a very polite thing to say. Welcome to the Ouran Host Club, Mr. Honor Student.
Immediately, another one of the host club members jumped with surprise.
You must be Haruhi Fujioka. You're the exceptional honor student we've heard about.
Haruhi froze.
How do you know my name?
You're infamous. It's not every day a commoner like you gains entrance into our academy.
It was the glasses guy again.
You must have quite the nerve to work hard enough to get yourself into this school, Mr. Fujioka.
Thanks, I guess,
said Haruhi, still very confused.
You're welcome,
said a voice as a hand grabbed her shoulder. The tall blonde one had started up again.
You're a hero to the other poor people. You've shown the world that even a poor person can do well in an elite private academy.
Haruhi slunk away, but he still followed.
It must be so hard for you to constantly be looked down upon by others.
I think you're taking this poor thing too far.
Haruhi slunk away from him again.
Spurned, neglected.
He continued to follow her and make large arm and hand gestures.
But that doesn't matter now! Long live the poor! We welcome you, poor man, to our world of beauty,
he said with one final flourish. Before Haruhi could make it to the door, she was stopped by someone short, with a high-pitched voice.
Hey, come back here, Haru-chan!
The voice exclaimed.
You must be like a superhero! That's so cool!
I'm not a hero, I'm an honor student,
said Haruhi as she turned to the small boy.
And who are you calling Haru-chan?
Quickly, the extravagant one was back at it.
I never would have imagined a famous scholar would be so openly gay.
Openly what?
Thought Haruhi.
So, what kind of guys are you into?
He asked.
The strong, silent type?
He turned to the tallest of them all. The boy had very short, black hair and wore a serious, brave, but blank expression. He then turned to the shortest of them all.
The Shota Lolita. The mischievous type.
He said as he gestured to the red-haired, identical twins.
Or the cool type.
The boy with glasses narrowed his eyes at the mention of himself.
Well,
Haruhi's comfort level was plummeting.
It's really not like that. I was just looking for a quiet place to study.
Or maybe you're into someone like me. How about it?
He cradled her chin in his hand and pressed his face close to hers. Backing away quickly, Haruhi bumped into a large glass vase, sending it tumbling to the ground. She gasped and tried to grab for it, but it was just out of her reach. Whimpering, she could only watch as it shattered into thousands of pieces. Immediately, the twins appeared right behind her with a sigh.
We were going to feature that Renaissance vase in the school auction,
said the first one.
You've done it now, commoner! The bidding was going to start at 8 million yen.
8 million yen?
Haruhi collapsed under the shock, trying to make sense of such a large amount of money. She had never thought that it would have been that high in value.
I guess I'm gonna have to pay you back,
she said after recovering.
How? With what money?
The twins responded in unison.
You don't even have enough money for the school uniform. What's with that outfit you've got on anyway?
Said one of the twins alone.
What do you think we should do, Tamaki?
The boy with glasses asked the tall blonde one as he picked up one of the shards of glass. Tamaki sat at a chair and sat back thoughtfully before replying.
Now here's a saying you might have heard of, Fujioka. When in Rome, do as the Romans do. You have no money, so you'll have to pay with your body. Starting today, you're the host club's dog.
Dog? Mom, I don't know if I can handle this. I've been captured by a bunch of boys who call themselves a host club,
thought Haruhi, spacing out. With that, the host club was open for business. All around the room, small groups of girls chattered happily with the boys of the host club. Tamaki was sitting at a couch with two girls, one of which she had just put into a dreamlike state with a corny remark.
May I have a word with you, Tamaki?
The girl sitting on the other side of Tamaki spoke. Tamaki turned around to face her.
I've recently heard that the host club is keeping a little cat without a pedigree.
I don't think I'd quite call him that,
said Tamaki with a bit of a laugh. He then turned toward the doorway, where Haruhi had just walked in.
Speak of the devil. Thanks for doing the shopping, Piglet. Did you get everything on the list?
Piglet?
Haruhi grumbled.
Hey?
Said Tamaki, confused.
What is this?
He was holding in his hand a jar of Nescafe brand coffee grinds.
Just what it looks like,
said Haruhi.
It's coffee.
I've never seen this brand before. Is this a kind that's already ground?
Huh? What do you mean? It's instant coffee.
It's instant?
Two girls said in unison from across the table.
Oh.
Tamaki said with fascination.
I've heard of this before. It's commoner's coffee. You just add hot water.
More girls had gathered around them, as fascinated as Tamaki.
I didn't know there was such a thing,
one of them said.
So I guess it's true.
Replied another.
Poor people don't have enough time to grind their own coffee beans.
The other girls nodded in agreement.
Commoners are pretty smart,
said the boy with glasses matter-of-factly. They were all so engrossed in the coffee that nobody had noticed that he had walked over as well.
100 grams per 300 yen?
One of the twins commented. Nobody had noticed them arrive either.
That's much less than what we normally pay.
Fine, I'll go get something else,
Haruhi exclaimed.
Excuse me for not getting you expensive coffee.
No, I'll keep it.
Tamaki quickly rose to his feet.
I want to give it a try.
The company of girls became more excited. Tamaki held the jar up high.
I will drink this coffee!
All the girls applauded him. No sooner did Tamaki raise a hand to silence them.
All right, Haruhi, get over here. Come make some of this commoner's coffee.
I hate all these damn rich people,
Haruhi said to herself.
Oh, Tamaki,
laughed the girl who had been sitting with him.
You're taking the joke too far now. Your sensitive palate won't be able to stomach that crap. Just because you bought it doesn't mean you have to drink it.
Haruhi looked over at her curiously.
I'm sorry,
she continued.
I was just talking to myself.
She gave Haruhi a fake smile. She saw right through it, but didn't react before Tamaki called her over.
I'm coming,
she mumbled. The girl stared in wonder as Haruhi put small spoonfuls of the coffee grounds into each of the cups and then poured the hot water into them.
And let the tasting begin,
said Tamaki.
I'm a bit scared to drink this,
said one girl.
Will my father yell at me if I drink it?
Tamaki took that moment to make the girls around him squeal from another one of his comments, but Haruhi didn't listen because it was too ridiculous. She looked a few tables down, where the two twins were drinking tea with a pair of girls. One of the twins was laughing as he spoke.
So then he had a nightmare that made him bolt right up out of bed. Hikaru!
said the other twin, annoyed.
Don't tell them that story. I asked you not to tell anyone. Why are you so mean to me?
Tears came to his eyes as he turned away.
I'm sorry, Kaoru.
Hikaru lifted Kaoru's face close to his and spoke softly.
I didn't mean to upset you. You were so adorable when it happened, I had to tell them. I'm sorry. I forgive you.
Kaoru whispered back to Hikaru. The two girls squealed.
I've never seen brotherly love like this before.
Haruhi walked away, carrying tea to another table.
Why are they so excited? I just don't get it.
A moment later, the tallest of them carried the smallest on his shoulders into the room, who was sleepily rubbing his eyes.
I'm sorry I'm late,
he said while yawning.
I was waiting for Takashi to finish his kendo meeting and I fell asleep. I'm still not completely awake. So cute!
Is that boy really a third-year student?
Honey-senpai seems young and childish.
The boy with glasses approached Haruhi.
But he's a prodigy. Girls are attracted to Mori-senpai for his strong and silent disposition.
Haru-chan!
Honey came bounding into Haruhi's arms.
Haru-chan, you want to have some cake with me?
Thanks,
said Haruhi, stumbling over her words.
But I don't really like cake.
Then how about you hold my bunny Usa-chan?
He suggested.
I'm not really into bunnies.
Honey gasped.
You don't like Usa-chan?
Honey held up Usa-chan. Haruhi stared into the pink rabbit's eyes.
Well, I guess he is kinda cute,
she admitted. At that moment, Honey made a realization about Haruhi.
Take good care of him.
Honey said as he bounced off onto the couch to join the group of girls.
You'll notice our club uses the unique characteristic of each man to cater to the guest's desires.
The boy with glasses spoke yet again.
Tamaki is #1 around here, just so you know. He's the king. He has a request rate of 70%.
Really? What's this world coming to?
Haruhi was confused.
In order for you to pay your 8 million yen debt, you will act as the Ouran Host Club's dog until you graduate. Sorry, I meant our errand boy. Try to run away if you want to, but just so you know, my family employs a private police force of 100 officers.
He pushed his glasses back up his nose.
By the way, Haruhi, do you have a passport?
You'll have to work hard if you want to pay off that debt.
Tamaki said as he approached them.
You need a makeover or else no girl is ever going to look twice at you.
I'm not exactly trying to get girls to look at me.
Haruhi replied. She still didn't know what this was all about.
You have to learn to be a gentleman, like me.
Tamaki gloated.
I just don't think it's all that important.
Said Haruhi, to Tamaki's surprise.
Why should I care about appearances and labels anyway? All that really matters is what's on the inside, right? I don't understand why you even have a host club like this.
It's a cruel reality, isn't it?
Said Tamaki, to Haruhi's annoyance.
It's not often a perfect person, like moi, is put on this world. Beautiful, both on the inside and out.
What?
I understand how you feel. Not everyone is as blessed as I am. You must console yourself, though. Otherwise, how would you go on living?
Tamaki embraced himself with his arms.
Think about this. Why do they put great works of art in museums? Because beauty should be shared with the world.
There's a word to describe people like him,
thought Haruhi.
That's why I created the host club in the first place. I did it for those who starved for beauty.
Tamaki continued speaking, moving his arms left and right.
What is it? I wish I could remember that word. Maybe a pain in the neck? No. There's something that fits him perfectly.
Above all else, Haruhi.
Tamaki approached Haruhi again and leaned towards her.
You must remember how effective a glance to the side can...
I've got it!
Haruhi exclaimed as she pounded her fist into her palm.
Obnoxious!
Tamaki immediately curled up into the fetal position in a corner. The twins laughed.
I'm sorry, senpai, but you did strike a small chord with me,
said Haruhi, thinking quickly. Nonetheless telling a lie. Tamaki got up off the floor.
Really? Let me teach you more, my friend.
Wow, he got over that pretty quick,
thought Haruhi.
Hey, boss!
Said Kaoru.
Call me king,
interrupted Tamaki.
You can teach him all the basics of hosting.
Kaoru started.
But he's not going to get very far if he doesn't look the part.
Hikaru finished.
He's not exactly host club material, but maybe if we took his glasses off, it would help.
Hey, I need those!
Haruhi shouted as he removed her glasses.
I used to have contacts, but I lost them on the first day of school.
Tamaki pushed the twins aside and looked Haruhi over. He gasped in astonishment. He then snapped his fingers and called upon Hikaru and Kaoru.
Got it!
They said with a salute. They each grabbed one of Haruhi's arms and stormed off. Tamaki pointed towards the boy with glasses, who had already taken out his cell phone.
Kyoya, call my hairstylist.
He then pointed towards Mori.
Mori-senpai, go to the eye doctor and get him some contact lenses.
Mori ran off.
What about me, Tama-chan?
Asked Honey excitedly.
Honey-senpai.
Yes, sir!
You... just go have some cake.
It's just us, Susa-chan.
Said Honey sadly as he sat at a table by himself.
Everyone says they're too busy.
Here,
said the twins together as they stood with Haruhi in one of the dressing rooms.
Change into this uniform.
What?
Said Haruhi.
Why?
Don't ask questions.
The twins insisted.
Change!
They pounced on Haruhi.
Fine!
Shouted Haruhi.
I'll change, but you guys have to get out.
She threw them out from behind the curtain. The twins bounced along the floor. When they stopped, they looked at each other and made their realization about Haruhi.